How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Drifting Rhythm. I'm your host, Rhythm, and today it's time for something a little bit different. So this video is about 36 lifetime supply winners. I always thought that was kind of interesting to see what a lifetime supply is. If you've ever been someone who's been curious about what some of these things actually equal to and the amount and value, you're gonna be a little surprised. Number 1. Lifetime supply of M&M candies. They literally sent 52 bags all at once. Given the life expectancy of about 80 years and the median age of 39 years old, it seems M&M assumes the average person will eat 5 bags of M&Ms every 4 years for the rest of the 41 years they have left to live. Wow. Number 2. I want a lifetime supply of donuts, up to a dozen per day, which is 12, at a local bakery, and it lasted all of 2 years until the original owner passed away and his son took over the business. So they just got rid of that asterisk by their name, which entailed them to free stuff every day. I mean, have you ever been to Dunkin' Donuts or like Krispy Kremes? Do you really think they sell every single one of their donuts? No. And it's not like a person's gonna eat 12 in a whole day. If you did, you probably really wouldn't live a lifetime, which that'd be pretty bad. Number 3, as a consolation prize for losing on a TV game show, I was given a popcorn popper, a little girl's bicycle, and a lifetime supply of Dinty Moore beef stew. I gave the popcorn popper as a Christmas present and sold the bicycle. When the beef stew arrived, it was 1 case of 12 cans. After trying the first can, I realized that the other 11 would indeed last me a lifetime. I'm not gonna lie, I've had it, not a fan. I think I've only ever had 2 ever, so I can see why they feel that way. I'm sure there are people who love it, or else they wouldn't be selling them at all. Number 4, my stepdad won a lifetime supply of WD-40 in the 1990s. Wow. They've sent him 4 16-ounce cans. He passed away in 2019. My mom still has 2 cans. Someone comments, this just made me realize I don't think I'll ever use a full can of WD-40. Number 5, I won a lifetime of free oil changes for my car. Wow, imagine. It was during a sale the dealership was having where you had to take a photo with your pet, and the person who most resembled their pet won. I don't know if I should feel happy or concerned about that one. Okay. What they did fail to mention is that it was a lifetime of oil changes for the vehicle I had, and it couldn't transfer to anyone else. So when my dad took over my car loan, they dropped that little tidbit of info on us. Only really lasted me for about 2 oil changes. Number 6, I got free multi-room DVR and HBO for life from my cable company. Little did I know that any change, including replacing an 8-year-old broken router, would remove it from my account and make it quote-unquote impossible to add back. Number 7, 1 free movie rental from Blockbuster every week. And well, you know. Oh man, it reminds me of Toys R Us. Toys R Us is still kind of there in some capacity. I think it's like with Macy's or something, but it's like an online thing now. Man, I miss a lot of those stores. You do not have a lot of the things I did growing up, that's for sure. Number 8, I had a lifetime gym membership that ended after 2 years. I thought it meant my lifetime, not theirs. That's crazy. Number 9, my parents won a lifetime supply of toiletries, soap, toilet tissue, some other stuff, you know? Once per quarter, you mail in a coupon and they send you another quarter's worth of stuff. It's all institutional grade. Number 10, won a lifetime supply of mini chocolate milk cartons during a milk day at school. If you opened a carton of milk and it mooed at you, you had to call the number on it and report that you have mooing milk. That was in 2007. Ooh. I'm still getting milk shipped to me, but my fiance drinks it because I've grown to hate milk. Number 11, my mom and dad won a lifetime supply of Cool Whip in 1968 on Let's Make a Deal. I was only 4 at the time, so I somehow thought that Cool Whip and Tootsie Rolls, for another reason, were just free and plentiful. I'm not sure how long it actually lasted. I think we just got tired of it. Around the same time as the Let's Make a Deal windfall, where my parents also won a car, my dad noticed the truck he was following had smoke coming out the back. He flagged the driver down and helped him put out a small fire smoldering in his cargo, which turned out to be a truckload of Tootsie Rolls. The driver gave my dad all the fire damaged cases, which resulted in us having basically an endless supply. Hence the reason I thought both Tootsie Rolls and Cool Whip were like water when I was a kid. That's an interesting mixture. Like, I wouldn't have Cool Whip with a Tootsie Roll. Like, I feel like that would be so jarring. It's like Frosted Flake Lucky Charms. It's like either you want it soft or you want it a little bit more crunchy. Having them both, it's not a bad cereal, but it's definitely one that takes a bit of getting used to. Number 12. I won a lifetime supply of AA and AAA batteries from a major Canadian tech retailer about 20 years ago. Thing is, batteries last a long time, and there really isn't that much that I use batteries for. Now, hypothetically, I could start a battery business by just getting my free batteries and selling them to people who need them, but it's just not worth the time or the effort. Even getting the batteries isn't worth the time. I have to get them to type in my name in the system, and there's a note by my name indicating that I get free batteries because I won a contest 20 years ago. Oh man. And then they run and get their manager to look at it because it looks suspicious. And then the manager looks at it and then asks me questions, and then they finally relent and give me my free batteries. That does sound like a massive headache. Number 13. When I was a kid, I won a contest online which included a lifetime supply of Hubba Bubba bubble tape. I remember that. I don't remember the exact amount, but I think it was about a dozen boxes of gum. I got sick of it pretty quickly, and it had a shelf life. A friend and I wound up using it for a school project where we had to make a model of the town from the book The Outsiders. We made the entire model out of gum, and it was disgusting. Our jaws got sore from chewing all the gum, so we wound up dipping it in water instead. Our teacher docked us points for creativity. 20 years later, and I'm still pretty mad about that. I'm not gonna lie. If I was a teacher and I had some kid walk in with an entire model made out of gum that they pre-chewed, that would be pretty disgusting. I wouldn't dock you points for creativity. That is actually quite impressive. It's gross, but it's very impressive because that's a lot of detail. Number 14. I won free full body massages for life, which basically just translates to 2 massages a week. It was really good. I got addicted. I knew everyone who worked there, and I got to experiment with all of them to see which were the best. Namely, the best for that person, because remember, everybody has a different kind of feel, so what's the best for them may not be the best for you. Ended up fluctuating between 3 different staff towards the end. They would even train new staff on me for free because I spent so much time over there. Those training massages never cost me anything either, or counted towards my free 2 massages a week. When the place closed down, I realized just how expensive massages really were. I haven't had one in ages, and I do miss it so bad. Number 15. This happened in the late 90s. A local bar ran a wet t-shirt contest where the girl who won would win a lifetime of free bar drinks at the bar. They also had cash prizes for 2nd and 3rd place. I don't remember how much, but it was a lot at the time. The result was a packed bar, tons of girls entered, tons of guys spending money. My friend's girlfriend at the time, and now his wife, won 1st place. She was stoked, he was excited. Within a couple of weeks, the building was condemned and torn down a few weeks after that. Turns out, the owner of the bar knew that the building was going to be condemned and just wanted to have one last party. You know what? Going out with a bang. You know, it's like, well, this is gonna happen anyway, so, you know, it's been a pleasure, boys. Like, it's like Titanic all over again. Oh man, I can respect that. I love that. Number 16. I once won a year's supply of Pepsi from a local radio station. The contest was finding specific serial numbers on a dollar bill and being the first to call into the station. The year's supply was a single case. 24 cans. Number 17. In high school, I called into a radio contest and was ex-caller to call in, maybe the 105th, I don't quite remember, to answer a trivia question. I answered it right and got a lifetime supply of ice cream, which turned out to be a monthly coupon for a gallon. It continued throughout high school, and then, when I went away for college, my parents didn't keep up with it. That was so long ago. I'm 50 now. It was really fun and exciting at the time though. Number 18. A friend of mine won a life supply of Nokia phones. So yeah, just the one 3310. Wow. Like, I don't even know what that would mean. Well, what is a lifetime supply of a phone? That's like, here, you can have this iPhone 14 Pro Max. Is that a lifetime supply of a phone? Like, no upgrade plan, no nothing? I mean, at least it's paid for, right? But phones were so cheap back then. Well, I mean, compared to now, but it's kind of like a slap in the face. But I guess back then, if you could even have a phone and it was just completely paid for and you could just have a little small plan on it, that's probably still better than nothing. Number 19. My partner won a year's worth of Vans shoes. They sent him 4 99% off vouchers. What, he paid like $1? That's interesting. So are they saying their shoes only last 3 months? I definitely, like, I was in the skateboard and rollerblading scene back in the day. So you saw these kinds of shoes all the time. You saw Converse, low top Nikes. You had a lot of that stuff back then, like Air Force Ones. Yeah, you had a lot of that back then. That's pretty cool. Number 20. Before I was born, my father won a lifetime supply of free Schick. Is that what that word is? I don't know. Disposable razors. Growing up, I saw them all the time, and even now, 30 plus years later, he still has a full box of them in the garage. Unfortunately, the quality of the razors is pretty terrible, and my father has always had trouble with nicks and cuts. I've tried to introduce him to better multi-blade razors, but he's just too stubborn to make the switch. He's like, I got these for free and I'm not wasting them. I mean, I can respect that, but you know, come on. Number 21. I had a friend in college who won a lifetime supply of Gillette razors. They sent him a crate of Mach 3 razors and refill cartridges. And that was that. It was just a one-time shipment. So are they saying that the razors are supposed to last a lifetime with those refills? So that means that people are just shaving wrong? Is that what they're trying to say? What the heck? That's messed up. Number 22. My parents did twice in a relatively short period of time. The first was at a fair when I was in high school. They advertised it as a lifetime supply of ice cream sandwiches. They ended up giving us 100 boxes all at once on a warm July day, right in the smack middle of summer. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, that's no good. My mom was only able to collect at the end of the day, so there wasn't even that many people to hand them out to. We got home and had about 60 left after giving away as much as possible and throwing out what didn't fit in our freezer. I played lots of sports, so I ate a lot, and my parents just said I could eat as much as I wanted anytime I wanted. Cool parents. Almost as cool as those boxes in the freezer. I went through 60 boxes in a couple of months. Yeah, that sounds about right. But as a kid, that would make some sense. Especially an athlete. I definitely know what that's like. The second one was when they bought an expensive microwave about a year later and won a 5-year supply of microwave popcorn. Basically, the same thing happened. We got a huge box with like 200 packages, and I was told to eat as much as I wanted. After living in a house that smelled like popcorn for a few weeks, my parents just threw the rest in the garbage. Number 23. When I was in high school, my teacher won a lifetime supply of DNL. It was a 7-Up flavor back in the early 2000s. It amounted to like 10 cases of soda. Number 24. My mom won a lifetime supply of Surf, the washing powder. Basically, we got 72 8-kilogram boxes all at once on a pallet from some kind of raffle competition. Ended up selling 60 boxes to corner shops and splitting the rest with some family. She didn't even have enough room and didn't even remember entering the competition itself. Could you imagine that just showing up on your driveway one day and you wake up and you got to get to work and you can't because there's just a giant thing of machine wash powder in front of your garage? There was also a bunch of washing liquids and stuff from the rest of their range, one of each type too. That's crazy. Number 25. I won a year's supply of Pepperidge Farm Milanos when I was in college. My boyfriend and I ate them all in like 3 months. 3 glorious months. These are really, really good. Do you know what? Speaking of, I've never had the mint ones. I didn't even know they made mint ones. I need to have those someday. Number 26. I won free groceries for life at my local grocery store in a raffle. They give me a digital $100 gift card once a month, which is wonderful. However, it doesn't even cover a week of groceries. It will end when the total given has reached $10,000. I've got about 4,000 left. Number 27. I won a lifetime supply of Camel cigarettes in 1982. It was 1 pack of Camels, and it's still unopened in a storage box somewhere in my basement. You only got the 1 pack for a lifetime. Isn't that ironic? Number 28. I won a lifetime supply of fruit roll-ups when I was a kid. One of those chances to win because of the print on the inside of the box. It was gone within a year, partly because my parents gave away about half of it. By the time I saw the delivery, it was down to 6 large master cartons with multiple retail boxes inside. Don't take it away from them. Don't just be like, no, it's gone. Don't do that. That's messed up. At least I personally wouldn't do that. Number 29. I won a year's worth of chicken from a Lebanese chicken shop. I was licking my lips at the thought of the free chicken for a year, especially drowned in enough garlic dip to ward off Dracula himself. Reading the fine print though, it was only about $20 a week for 52 weeks. You could drop $30 to $40 on one person in one sitting. Number 30. Not me, but my grandpa won a lifetime supply of Altoids back in the early 2000s. Oh man, Altoids, I remember those. I like the old citrus ones. And the cinnamon ones. Oh, those were so good. They sent him a box with like 200 tins in it, and that was it. I remember when we went to his house, he gave me like a dozen of them. Oh, that's awesome. Number 31. I know someone who won a free gas for life contest many years ago. They get in a $100 gift card every month. This is definitely not enough for life, but still pretty good. To be honest, especially at that one point, like not even a year ago. Yeah, that wasn't even a month. That was like maybe your weekly budget. That's still good though. You know, even a bit of an offset is still an offset. I bet they loved that though. Number 32. Oh man, I know someone who would have loved this. I won a lifetime supply of Oreos. It was actually just 1 pallet pallet full of Oreos. Probably would last a normal person their whole life. I don't like where this is going. I don't know what normal person means here. It was like 1,000 pounds of Oreos. That is a lot. I gave away so many Oreos. Having a party, I'll bring a bunch of Oreos. Break room needs some snacks, Oreos. Ended up donating like 400 pounds of Oreos to a shelter just to get them out of my garage. Just for kicks, I called to inquire if lifetime meant my lifetime and that I had finished off the pallet. They said the pallet would last a reasonable person their whole life. The person that I knew that loved Oreos, I don't think these would survive. I don't think they would have done it as fast. I just knew they loved Oreos. 1,000 pounds of Oreos. Imagine how heavy that would be. Just chocolate wafers with cream in the center. I wonder if it was all the natural ones, like all the regular ones, or was it like multiple flavors? It was probably all the regular flavor. That would be kind of lame, you know? But then again, if you only liked a certain one and you only got like a little bit of that certain one, you know what? That's probably the better way to go. A reasonable person. I can't. That's too good. Number 33. My uncle gets free Ben & Jerry's for life. He's been friends with the actual Ben & Jerry's since before they opened the first shop. He has a card that says free ice cream for life, and he can get pints or cones at any scoop shop, at least locally. He also gets decks of free pint coupons that he can use at grocery stores and gas stations. When Unilever bought them out, they tried to buy back all the free ice cream for life cards. I guess it was a fairly generous offer because my uncle is one of only a few that chose to keep the card. Number 34. Won a lifetime supply of gourmet coffee beans in a contest at a county fair. Contestants had to guess as closely as possible the number of coffee beans in a large glass cylinder prominently displayed. Years later, I'm still receiving monthly shipments of several pounds of gourmet coffee beans, my choice of variety, which is actually pretty cool. They let you submit your choice every month. That's sick. Since there are more coffee beans than I can use every month, I give them away to friends who appreciate finer quality coffee. That's fair. I'm not a massive fan of coffee. I'll drink it, but it does nothing for me. Number 35. My father played a game on teletext back in the day and won a lifetime supply of some beer. However, they cheated him and only sent him a party keg. My dad was a programmer, so he wrote a program which played cards for him on teletext. If the program was about to lose because of bad cards, it quit the channel and logged in again automatically for the next run. The program was playing day and night, and after some weeks, he had won several TV sets, video cameras, cruises, you name it. Eventually, the organizer of the game locked my father out, which was illegal, which it actually is. So, he sued the company which organized the game and reached an agreement. They paid him an amount of about $10,000 and he was never allowed to play again. So instead of a lifetime supply of beer, he got a lot of stuff. And this is why I, as a teenager, had my own video camera, which at the time was so expensive that people had to lease them. That's actually true. A lot of people forget that a lot of these things that you have right now used to be insanely expensive. Pepperidge Farmer members. Number 36. Back in 1977, when I was 13 years old, I won a contest for a lifetime supply of models from Revell. A semi-truck pulled up to our house in a very quiet suburban neighborhood and proceeded to unload 4 pallets of plastic models in the driveway. There were hundreds of models, probably one of everything they offered in their catalog at the time. I kept about 2 dozen, which kept me busy for a year or so. My father helped by finding a local retail hobby store to buy the rest of them at a favorable price, so we could just get rid of them. He put the money into US savings bonds for me, which I cashed out many years later to use for a down payment on my first car. I do remember these, like Matchbox and Hot Wheels and stuff like that. That was a bit of a journey, wasn't it? So we looked at basically what a lifetime supply actually gets you. When you win, this is what you get. Are you kind of shocked? Did you think this is what would happen? Let me know. I think this was kind of interesting. If you guys like this, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Some of these are definitely crazy.